Hey up, how we doing? You alright? Right, this is the story of the first brew day of 2024. And what a story it is, ladies and gentlemen. No brew footage for this beer, but you're going to find out why there's no brew footage for this beer as the story unfolds. That is a pale ale. So, first things first, she's not the prettiest thing in the bar. Now, this was supposed to be a Mosaic and Citra IPA, pressure fermented. This is a pale ale, unpressure fermented. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to have a little drink. I'm going to give you the recipe, and then we're going to tell the torrid story of the brew day. What is it, a brew day from hell? The brew day that I'm not used to. Come along for the story, ladies and gentlemen. That pale ale consists of 4.5 kgs of Maris Otter, 100 grams of crystal malt. It's got 50 grams of flaked barley. Hoppages. There's no Citra and there's no Mosaic in this. 30 grams of Bramling Cross, 20 grams of Brew 1, 20 grams of Idaho 7 for last 10 minutes. No bittering hops. 30 grams of Brew 1, 48 grams of Bramling Cross, and 30 grams of Idaho 7 at flame out, pull the plug, till cool down. The yeast was Cross My Loaf Atlantic Pale Ale. OG 1.048, final gravity 1.010, bringing it in at 5% of the ABV. You ready for the story? So as I said, this was supposed to be a Mosaic and Citra IPA under pressure. I went out the night before bowling with some friends that had come over from New Zealand and was over for a bit. And went to Pizza Express. Very nice. I had a burnt ends pizza, dough balls, Pizza Express dough balls, amazing. And I decided to brew, and we was later back than I expected. So normally I brew when I take Martha to school. When my wife's at work, Martha's at school, I get up early, I've got my water treatment, my Camden tablets are in the water the night before, all collected. I've got my brew machine set up. I've got my grains weighed out. I know where I am. I walk in, after getting up, Martha's having a breakfast. I chuck the water in the all-in-one, start warming it up. That's what I do. But I was late home and I was not organised. It was dark, it was cold. So I got the water together and that's all the preparation I got done. Water together, Camden tablets in them, nothing else was set up ready. So off we got, up in the morning, ready for school. Martha started having a breakfast. I came in, I got the extension lead out and everything, got the all-in-one up, put the water in it, turned it on to get up to strike temp. So, off we went to school, came back, had some breakfast, thought, that water will be about ready, I need to get some grains ready. In I come, turn the light on, there's nothing. I'm like, ooh, what's going on here then? Something's blown in the fuse box, which has affected the sockets in here. And I smell and I go, I don't know whether it's me, but I reckon I can smell a bit of burning. The machine's off. The machine, the water is at, I think it got to 25, 30 degrees. That was it. I'm aiming for a 70 to get to a 67 mashing. I'm like, what? So, unplug the extension, plug's hot. I look at it and there's a little bit of melted bit on the front of it. I ain't got a picture of it. Unscrewed it, and where the fuse goes into that terminal on that one, it melted it. I've never had that before. I've been using the same extension cable for years. I've been using the same machine for years. I've never had a problem. So I'm behind. I'm like, oh, what's done that? Oh, no. New extension cable out, put it back on, expecting it to go bang as soon as I plug it in, but it doesn't, and off it goes. But I am well behind by this time, aren't I? So, off we go. I thought I better get some grains weighed out, so I'll weigh some grains out. And then by this time, I'm really behind. On top of this, it's chucking it down with rain. And I've got myself into this myth of Christmas. 12 days of Christmas, you've got to have all your decorations down before the 12th day, on the 12th day, 12th night, otherwise you're going to have bad luck for like ever and ever, aren't you? Now, I've had the Christmas tree down, it's all down, it's out the way, inside decorations are all done. But I've got outside decorations. I've got a flagpole with lights curling all the way up it. I have to take the flagpole down, I have to put it into sections, I have to wind it and wind it and wind it. I want it to look nice for Christmas. I get excited before Christmas. It's an exciting time of year, especially if I'm not at work. Then it runs around the driveway, and then I've got these lasers that go onto their house. They're lovely. It's absolutely lashing it down out there. So I'm trying to brew and I'm trying to get these decorations down. It's like a degree in my hands. I'm taking it down off the flagpole and I can't feel my fingers. It's aluminium. I can't feel my fingers. So I weighed my grains out. It's windy. I've spilt them all over the drive. They've blown out the bag. I don't like weighing grains out in here, generally, because it gets so dusty and a right mess, doesn't it? Just me. Loads of clearing up, not keen. Anyway, so there we go. Strike water's up to strike temp. We then get the grains in. Lovely job. We're mashing in. Lovely. An hour's mash. I'm back outside in that horrible weather trying to get the Christmas decorations down again. So the end of the mash comes. We lift the grains. I've already decided this is going to be a nightmare. Grains out. I'm sparging. I knock the little thing, the stopper, right? I knock the stopper out the middle of the grain basket into the grain. Now I've got this much water on top at 77 degrees, okay, sparging through, and I can't see it anymore. It's wandered down. I'm like, it's okay, it's not a big drama. Once we've done the sparge, we'll let the grains cool down and I'll get it out. Easy. Off we go, we're on to boil. I've already decided now I'm not doing that for pressure ferment. I got time. I got time to clean everything out. This is going to get some. I'm going to grab a few hops, handfuls of hops. I'm going to chuck them in at different times. I'm going to chuck it in a bucket and go. I'm still fighting with my flagpole. I've still got rain piling in my ears and up my nose. So my grains cooled down. My grains go in the green waste bin where all my leaves and grass cuttings go. Into the bin. Do, 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 do. Poof. Oh, what? What have I done? What have I done? You know what I've done. So, this is full of leaves. Grain trickles down. I grab my hands into it. It's still not quite cool enough. I'm like, oh my God, it's burning my hands. I'm making just a mess. I'm just making a massive mess. And I'm like, I ain't got time for this. Let me show you the stopper. So I am trying to find that little monster in a great big massive wheelie bin full of leaves with some hot grain that hasn't cooled down enough. And I'm like, oh my God. Let's leave that. I have not got time to be messing about with this now. So off we come back. We finish the brew day. We finish it. We chuck it in a bucket because we can't be bothered to mess about putting the pressure fermenter back together, and we chuck it in the fermentation fridge. That's what we do. Wet, cold, annoyed because I've already lost that little bit once. I found it in a drawer, but I looked for another one. I couldn't find one. I used to use a little brush thing, a tap brush in the top. But I like it to look nice on the videos. It needs to look professional, doesn't it? Even though I'm not pretending to be professional. I don't pretend to be professional. Let's get that right. So there, at the end of the day, I'm cold, I'm wet. I've had enough. I haven't brewed what I'm supposed to brew, and it's out of a bucket. It is what it is. But we've got a beer. I'm clearing up, aren't I? I'm clearing up. And on the side, what do I see? See me protoflock. That ain't gone in. I forgot all about that bad boy. Yes. Normally, apart from that leak I had a while ago, generally my brew day is as smooth as silk. That was not ideal, I've got to be honest. And you've just seen that bit, so I have retrieved it, but I couldn't be bothered. I left it in the bin, and I left it in the bin for a fortnight. And I was like, I can't be bothered. And I went, you know, I'm going to have to have a look for it. So I got the bin on the grass, I tipped it out, and like bits of grey, I only got like that much grain, a little slither, and then bing, this little bright shiny thing twinkled in my eye, and my heart danced. It was just laid there on the grass, as if to go, please don't leave me. I love being with Brew a bit Rick Shaw doing this brewing. So it was there, it found me sort of. Picked it up, cleaned it, bit of raking up, minimal. And it's back in the brewery. Let's top this beer out and talk about this beer. So we're not clear. We're not so pretty. We've got a bit of a bubbly head. We're murky. You can't really see carbonation. But, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, this is a lovely, fruity, hoppy, delicious, easy drinking, low bittered pale ale. It's got a bit of a lemony, stone fruits, tropical fruits, mango, bit of grapefruit on the back end. A mixture of different sort of fruitiness, lovely, nice head. Who would guess? Who would guess? Distracted, I've learnt my lesson when I'm brewing. Can you remember when I was doing that guttering? I had a leaky guttering that was full of stuff. I noticed on the brew day, and I went upstairs up to clear it out, and I got covered. I don't care what happens. If I'm brewing, I'm brewing. I am not talented enough at the moment, I've realised, to multitask on a brew day. Although I know I'm really into pressure fermenting at the minute, and that's the way I'm trying to go. But this, it's lovely. I'm really loving this. And I thought it was going to be a complete disaster. The other beers on tap have been kind to it. It's not the prettiest like me, like I've said. But beers have character. I think beers have character. I've got a Kolsch. It's like a Pilsner a Kolsch, isn't it? It's the cool kid. It's clear, it's a beautiful colour, it's got a lovely white head, it looks the part. It's the cool kid at school, isn't it? Always smartly dressed, smells nice. Everybody wants to hang about with them. But the Kolsch has been going, you're alright mate, come into my gang. You're alright, I know you're not the prettiest, we're all friends here. I've got a bestest bitter on. It's like the old guy at the pub, isn't it? Traditional pub with locals going in. He's got his own place. He's got his own seat, and he's had that seat for 50 years since he was young. Somebody from outside comes in, sits in his seat. The locals are going, oh, hang on, guys. Albert's coming in half an hour. He's in at 12:30 every day for a pie and a beer, have a chat with the locals and a game of dominoes. Now, keep it warm, but when he walks in the door, please, can you let him sit down there? He's sat down there for 50. Let's not upset him. It's regular. He's comfy there. It's his seat. It's an unwritten rule, innit? Cherry stout. Now that's a tricky one because that's an old style guy. But it's like his grandson's come to the party. Cherry stout. It's like the young version. It's the young new cool dude of stouts, isn't it? New generation of stout. And they've all been lovely to Mr. Not Quite So Perfect, like me, Pale Ale. Bit rough around the edges. Doesn't particularly look the part. Got its imperfections, just like me. But friendly. Reliable. Nice to be around and hang about with. I don't know where this has gone. This has really gone off piece, hasn't it? I know where this has gone. I don't know what happened there. Sorry. I hope you stick with me. What am I doing? This is a beer channel, isn't it? Anyway, it's lovely. It's fruity. It's retained its fruitiness. It's holding a lovely head. It really does. The carbonations, it's hard to see because she's murky, isn't she? Now, I don't know if I forgot to put a Protaflock in or not use a Protaflock for a long time. Does it make that much difference? Yeah, I haven't left it out for a long time. And I don't mind it. I mean, that yeast doesn't give you a hazy, I don't think, does it? I mean, I don't know. There probably wasn't much. There was, I had to. I did run it through a couple of sieves, different size sieves like I do when I take it out there all in one. But it didn't have that, it definitely didn't have that cauliflower look. Well, the proteins get together while you're cooling it down. I definitely didn't. I don't know where that's got anything to do with it. I have had a few hazies recently and it is what it is. It doesn't bother me. It smells, like I say, that got transferred from a bucket into a corny keg, through a tube, not purged. Just did it old school like I used to. I still do it. That bitter, if I do a bitter, I don't pressure ferment a bitter. I don't, I just chuck it in a bucket after, through a tube. That's lovely and light and fruity, no bitterness. Can't taste any off flavours at all. It's light mouthfeel. It's probably light to medium, to be fair. We've been waffling. I've been waffling and waffling. Look at that, Lacey. Look at that head. Yeah. So from a trying day, emerges like a phoenix from the fermenter. An absolute gem that is giving me so much joy. I'm going to stop because this has been a very strange video. A bit like it was a very strange brew day, to be fair. I think it goes hand in hand, I've got to be honest. I can't believe how good that is. I thought it was going to be, I don't know why, because the actual brew part of it, once you got to the boil, that went all right. It was smooth, apart from the Protaflock. And hey ho, I mean, I can live with that. Nice work. Thank you very much for listening and watching again. And You must be mad. You're all mad. I appreciate you all. Cheers.
Like, subscribe and hit the bell.